GM Soby, how are you?
I'm good, King. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. It's been an absolute treat, man. Like I'll tell you, I've I started this podcast interviewing esports professionals, and interviewing people like esports is still very young, but it's still got some like mature, like it's a little bit more mature than the crypto and NFT space, and it always felt like such a challenge to get to like interview like people without going through all these barriers. And since I've come into the NFT world, man, like I've just been like there's no like roadblocks or barriers. It's just like we just like want to talk about NFTs because it just makes us happy, you know.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you coming on, man. How's your day going so far?
Pretty good, dude. Just been playing some games recently and just vibing.
Yeah, man. I saw you and was it you that got D's into that
New
what's that
World?
game? Yeah, New World, yeah.
Yeah, the new MMO by Amazon Games. I was just playing it right before I hopped on this actually. And I yesterday I didn't play it to let my buddies catch up with me, so it's excited to start questing with them and running some instances and shit later on today.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I know, I know that's usually takes up a lot of time, man. So I appreciate you carving some out, man. This is good. This is gonna be good, dude. So wanna do a quick intro, man. Like we met through Michael Tant, which is a recent guest on the podcast, man. Just for the audience or for my audience who doesn't know you, man. Like kind of give a little background, like who are you, what do you do, man, and what brought you into the scene.
Yeah. So I've been in crypto for a bit now. Just long story short, I was selling crypto or selling skins for crypto for a little bit in high school, made some money. That was like my first introduction to it all. Went to college, discovered like smart contracts and their applications in like the second, third year of college or so. Then got really into DeFi, was early to that. Jumped into NFTs because it reminded me of like DeFi equals new primitives for finance. NFTs are new primitives for culture, and NBA Top Shot like enabled that because I'm a huge basketball fan. And then, been thinking about doing something in the space that I've been in for 4 or 5 years now for a while, and thought gaming is something that we started talking about a lot last year, ending of last year and beginning of this year internally, and ended up founding a company called Ex Populus with a lot of dope people. And Ex Populus is a Metaverse game publisher, so we develop and publish games that leverage blockchains in a way that makes sense, that provides value for our users, and also creates new experiences and blah blah blah. So that's been a lot of fun, and now I'm here. Yeah,
Sick, man, sick. Yeah, I mean it's funny the way you said that, man. Like it's you're just like pretty nonchalant about it, but it's a pretty big deal, man. Like it's pretty cool to be a part of this. It just and I mean that in a good way, where it's just like it's just a lot of this shit just becomes natural, and it just kind of rolls off the tongue, and it's just like, yeah, man, this is what we're doing.
that shit's a lot of fun, man. I mean, I think for me it's been wild the last couple of years, especially this year. It's just been, like I sold a punk to OBJ. That was a dope experience.
Yeah, man. Tell me about that, dude, because I saw it on your Twitter.
I mean, I can't really get too much into it, but
Gotcha.
we're
Okay.
going to talk more about that in a more public setting later on. But
Okay.
it was just cool. Like I just know someone from his team. They started talking, and I was like, oh, I wrote a whole article about like my thought process behind it, because I do think that I'm extremely bullish on punks. So it's one of those things. It's like, why would you sell a punk then if you're so bullish? And it's, well, OBJ is like insane culture wise, and like it validates my thesis as well. But and you look at kind of what we've been seeing, like a lot, like Snoop Dogg just got a punk yesterday. So
Yep.
it's happening really fast, man. It's when Steph Curry got an ape, that was so cool. Like
Yeah.
it's like the simulation shit is crazy right now, right? It's like these things that because we were talking earlier before we recorded how much we're both huge sports fans. He's a huge Rockets fan. I'm a Kings fan, unfortunately, and it's a trip to see these things, like these things that we keep separate from each other start culminating, right, and start dripping into one another and influencing each other. Where I never thought Steph Curry would buy an ape, if you asked me, like
Right.
literally even a month before it happened. like no, but look.
Yeah, yeah. Now he's a part of it, man. Like, I think you bring up a really good point. It's that's such a good topic, because like I feel that like I get very nervous when celebrities enter the scene. To me, it's all about intention. And when I saw Steph Curry, I even saw Shaq ape into the Creatures project. And I just, because sometimes we've seen, who was it, John Wall, like had that really big rug pull where he like copied all the art from Fortnite, all the like the crypto basketball babies, like he copied from like Boss Babies, like there was like a clear sketch that they like copied and mapped out, and then I think Lil Uzi as well, and then just completely dipped, man.
The Uzi one was crazy. I don't even know if I'm trying to listen to Uzi anymore.
Right? Like that shit was atrocious. I saw headlines, man. So what exactly went down? All I saw was that he deleted all of his Discord messages.
Yeah, that's all. I barely know what happened because I was gonna buy them and then I was just like, fuck it, I'm just burnt out from minting this shit. Because I thought they looked ugly too, but apparently he was promoting them all over Twitter. Then they sell out, and then it's like they're like literally guaranteeing floor prices in the Discord, which is just a bad look. And I'm sure like the guys behind it, like the devs and stuff, are trying hard, etc. But Uzi deletes all his tweets, and then I guess like he deletes all his Discord messages too. So it's just like it's one of those things that it's like they were trying to I don't know. It just was a bad look. So that was awful. But I to your point about getting nervous about celebrities, I think it's not. What's nice is that we're reaching this escape velocity soon, where it's not. It already I would say that it's like this, but it's still not apparent to the other side because you have to remember. I think sometimes like some of these conversations about doing NFT drops, like they were happening a few weeks before, right, or months before, and so then they're coming out and doing these things, and they're obviously probably not in the space, or whoever's advising them is probably not the best person in the space because the issue is you can't think of it as an endorsement deal. You have to think of it as like or a one-off endorsement deal or a one-off like sponsorship post. It's like what you're doing is like you can leverage your brand in a very thoughtful way that would allow you to create a new revenue stream and like just the economics, the business side of it. But more importantly, I think is give your community something to rally behind, like a way to connect people, a way to give your community and the people that enjoy you, right, that enjoy your content, that enjoy your IP, whatever it is. Give them new experiences and like leverage this technology that you can find, like a blockchain. Like, to be honest, the honest truth is that a lot of things that you can do with a blockchain you can do with a database sometimes, but the issues are then like the data integrity, data immutability, all these things. So that's the trade-offs. To just be kind of more technical about it, but the interesting thing is how excited people get, right? Like NFTs are cool. It's like they're for fun, man. Like it's I'm having a lot of fun. I think a lot of people they feel like kids again, thinking of how can you use technology and art and finance and all these things, and not like necessarily like finance, like financial instruments, right? But like the fact that like one thing that tripped me out was like how hard it is to sell art, or how because I'm a collector of things in real life. Like I have a bunch of comic books. I used to be a big sneaker guy, and the sneaker market was the only market that I operated in on the sell side because I used to do like bots and all that stuff. And you'd buy sneakers and you sell them on the secondary, and it's a whole thing. But that was like just because of like just pure supply and demand. Like there'd only be 500 sneakers or 1,000 or 2,000, and there's way more demand than that. You could sell them on eBay, but then the problem with eBay was you would get scammed sometimes, and that sucked. Or just issues with like the payment process or PayPal. Like some guy can claim a charge, and then you have to fight the claim over a 3-week period when it's like you did give him the shoes, right? So all those things were pain points. Then StockX and all these guys came around, and they provided authentication services, but things still sneak. They're charging a fat premium for the authentication, and things still streep through. So when you think about all that, like NFTs provide you with something where it's like it's authentic, it's easy to trade. Like it's such a like OpenSea is actually the cheapest platform, bro. Like it's crazy to me that people shit on these guys, and it's like I really think the OpenSea team is awesome. I think the things they do is really cool. They're like they have a hard problem, man. Like their application is like the most used in crypto, and they're scaling a company in real time and a great startup. And to me, it's like crazy. Like they charge like whatever percentage, 2.5, whatever, which is the cheapest.
2.5. Yep.
Christie's charges 40%, bro.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it's like 40 or some shit, I think, but it's like 15, I think. Honestly, I might be hyperbole, but it's insane, right? And it's just something to remember. Like, you got to keep servers on, those operational costs to justify those things. And then beyond that, it's like, the markets are just more efficient. I know I'm not getting scammed, so it's like you have to think of it from that way. So for me, the other part of the celebrity stuff though is this that, okay, so the difference between NFTs and like investments are interesting to me, like investment products, right? Like, so when I buy, like, let's say I'm building out a huge position on Aave, because I think I know something, I have an information asymmetry, where I know something that most people don't, or other people do not. Just based on whether that's for my research, maybe I'm looking at a proprietary metric that tells me that Aave is criminally undervalued, right? Whatever it is that's making me do this. And I want to, like, let's say my goal is to buy $1 million worth of Aave. I'm not going to tell anyone else until I have $1 million of Aave, right? And then even then I might want to accrue more, blah, blah. I don't even want to, you still don't want to really tell people why. You want to just like let your thing do its magic. But if you go and spend, $1 million, 333 ETH, whatever that is, right? If you go and spend that amount on a Fidenza, or let's say you spend that amount on an item in the game, you spend that amount on a punk, you spend that amount on a toad, whatever it is, right? Maybe an ape. The instant you do that, like, you want everyone to know, right? Like, it's because as a collector, what you're doing is to the audience is you're signaling something has significance, right? Why is it that I'm spending $3 million on a fucking gorilla? It's like, oh, it happens to be that this gorilla is potentially a decentralized competitor to Supreme, right? But the community is awesome. Their derivative work, it's like it's there's something here, right? It's super avant-garde in some sense, right? It's super cringe to say that, but be all pretentious, but like, it's this digital renaissance era that we're living in right now. And that's like, there's this joke that I've heard a couple times from some of my buddies, like, oh, you'd really spend like 50 ETH on something that people can only see if you're even in person with them, like buying like an AP or something, right? Because it's crazy, the social currency that you get from some of these things. But
yes,
that's what it is. Like, you have to be mindful of, like, because it is going to be one of those things in like a few years. Owning a CryptoPunk is going to be one of the biggest flexes, right? In my opinion, and maybe like apes and stuff too. Whatever it is, like, being able to say, like, it's crazy though that we're having this, because now you're deriving things from, like, this is what the shift is. Protocols and applications, they're deriving value from whatever they're disrupting, and the fees and the flows and the cash flows, etc., the TVL that those protocols have. These things, punks, Fidenzas, art blocks, all this stuff, they're deriving value because they have cultural significance, and it's cultural significance based in a crypto-centric way, right? Which is freaking crazy, bro. Like, it's been here for so many years, and now we have culture. Like, I just saw Tom Brady in an FTX ad today. That's actually a really good ad, and it's awesome, dude.
I've heard about that ad, but I didn't see it, and I want to touch on the social currency, because I think people understand social currency, but they don't, like, when you put the word to it, it's like, to the common person, it's like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what, like, why would that be important? Like, so I actually bought, it was right when Fractional launched. I bought into Deez's hoodie punk, and like, which was like my first like take on. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It was my first exposure to DeFi, and but I'm like, this is dope, dude. Like, he puts, I understood the basic concept. Like, he's taking his non-fungible asset and he's locking it in a vault and making it fungible, putting a liquidity pool behind it, and allowing people to buy into his asset, and if you would have told me that, like, around, like, because I never got into Robinhood, I never got into Cash App or any of the fraction stocks like that. To me, that shit's fucking boring. Like, it's so boring, dude. Like, I saw some of my friends doing it. I'm like, bro, I don't even want anything to do with it. Looking at numbers all day, like, but you give me an opportunity to invest in culture, like, that's fucking cool, man. And Deez was really cool about it, where he was just like, look, I actually want you to put this as your PFP.
Yeah.
Because I went through that struggle of, like, do I own this? Do I have the right to put this as my PFP? Like, is this, you know what I mean? Because, like, it's just a kind of like what you're like, this is a renaissance, like, but we're thinking of some new ways. Like, these are all new thoughts. These are all like new ways of looking at things. And And I decided to like, I'm like, you know what, man, like if it's not accepted by the community, then I won't do it. You know, then I'll update it and I'll learn, you know, but it was actually really well received when I had that hoodie punk as my PFP. Like,
yeah, that's sick, dude.
Yeah,
I wrote a whole thread on that, which was like crazy for me to see that, because it changed my perspective on some things where I was like, oh, this is sick. Like, this is,
yeah.
I thought that as the same thing as having like a clan tag or a guild banner.
Right. Yeah, yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. I love the point that you draw to it, because, you know, my thought was like, fuck, man, like, since I don't actually own the full punk, I don't have the right to put that as my PFP. And then I sat there, I'm like, why the fuck doesn't it?
But see, that's what social currency is right there.
Right.
Like, you are self-policing yourself on a set of a social contract that we all entered with each other, because it would decrease your social currency. Right? Like, you want to figure out what, like, fuck, that's just, damn, that whole conversation was sick.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. Like, and I mean, and I like, I started putting it as my PFP. I'm like, you know, Justin Aversano started following me. You know, like, you had some of the punks started following me. You had Jimmy.eth follow me. Like, you had like, and like I started like, but what was weird, Soby, man, is like, on top of that being the PFP, like, punks have such a cultural significance that, like, I actually felt a genuine responsibility to like make sense when I tweeted shit out. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm like, when I say something, like, I'm representing a punk, I'm representing a community, I'm representing, you know, this group. Like, I don't want to say something I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I want to be thoughtful whenever I say something. You know, I want to respond like with respect and kindness. Like, I just want to overall make sense, and I just don't want to like tarnish, you know, what punks have done. You know, because, you know, love them or hate them. I don't know anyone who hates them, but I fucking love them. Like, they were like, you know, they are the blue chip project, and they are the people. They are the community a lot of people look up to in this scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's sick. I mean, I never even really thought of it that way, because I guess I didn't think of it that way, because I'm like in the punks community, and I try to be. I'd say I'm a good actor, which is douchey to say about yourself, right? But I think I do well in the community,
right? Yeah,
because it's mad important to me. Like it's like one of those things where you can really tell by actions who this shit actually matters to. Because to me, it's, first of all, it's like, it's not even this abstraction of community. It's like, what the fuck? These are all just my friends, bro. Like, I love this shit. Like, I'm having so much time, and because for me, what's awesome is like, I'm like a very social person, all this stuff, and I find, hey, Odie, stop that. Sorry, that's my puppy.
You're good.
Sometimes I catch myself just going like, oh man, like, it would be nice to just like, oh, maybe like I don't want to go out, or like, actually I don't go out that much, but like, you know, I want to just hop on Twitter Spaces, like, because I used to, like, you know, spend a lot of time just talking to friends and stuff, and like I still do, but it's just I find myself more just like inclined to go like, well, yeah, like I want to go hang out with all these people that I know that like the same things as me, and like I can talk to you about at length about these things that I'm like super passionate about, right? Because it's hard to do that. Oh, good boy.
Good girl.
But
yeah, man.
It's hard to do that stuff in person, you know, or like, it's not hard to do that stuff in person. It's hard to find people in your entity. And thankfully, where I'm at right now, like, I have actually a decent amount of Web3 friends. I just went out with them yesterday. We grabbed dinner, and, you know, those guys are awesome, and it's sick. I love hanging out. But the point still stands, is just that it's crazy that you can meet all these people on the internet that, like, I've met. So, like, D's I finally met in person like a few months ago for the first time. And
that's sick.
And there's a few other people that I've known for a while that I've met in person finally, especially in Miami in June. So that was cool. But the thing is, like, it's just wild to me. Like, I'd still, even before we met in person, and there's people I still haven't met in person, where I consider them like a very close friend of mine. And it's like one of my business partners, actually. I've never met this guy.
Right.
I haven't met this guy. I've known each other for 4 years.
That's insane.
Yeah,
that's absolutely insane. And I love your point, man. Like, because like I'm not someone who and I think that there's a few things I want to touch on, but like I feel that like I don't connect with like anytime that like I've been in a group of people, like unless it's a concert, like I like vibing with like 2 to 3 people that I know really well. Like when I go out, you know, it's like I never fucked with like large crowds, you know, before I got sober. I never fucked with large parties. Like I never liked any of that shit. You know what I mean? It gave me a lot of anxiety. I couldn't have genuine connection. I wanted to go like get to know people. I wanted to go like, you know, like learn who the fuck they are. But when you're doing that with a bunch of like 10 plus people whose like main objective is like get trashed or like get drunk, or like even if they're not, it's just it's hard to have that many genuine conversations all in one sitting, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's why I really vibed with some of this stuff on like, you know, online. Like I didn't realize that like this community existed, and once I found it, you know, I was telling you offline, like it felt like I struck gold. You know, I'm just like, holy shit, dude! Like there's been this energy that I've been like suppressing because like I just never thought that this type of technology would ever be possible. And once I found it, like I can't shut the fuck up about it, dude. You know, and turns out there's a lot of other people who are exactly like me, and it's almost, I don't like saying the word cult, but sometimes it feels like it. But I feel like that's just a slang for like a really strong community, in my opinion.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. But damn, dude, Kenneth Murray just got hurt.
Oh shit!
Damn, down bad.
Down bad, man.
Fuck.
Yikes.
Sorry, but yeah, I agree, man. It's hard not to get. It's like you found fire, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. And I don't know like what's wild is that like I don't know where the fuck this thing goes, but I think it's it's very similar to like, you know, like my community's always been my strongest community has been the sober community. Like I just celebrated 8 years, you know, last August or in August, and like I've never like that's like my strongest bond with people, you know. And but crypto and NFTs, like it's almost like that same type of feeling in a weird way. Like it's kind of like the Outcast crew that like likes some of the weirdest shit and the craziest shit ever, but and you're used to like being looked at differently. You're used to be like told you're not going to make it. You're used to being told like all these other things. You're just a fucking weirdo. And that to me is like something really special. And I didn't realize that there were more communities that had just as strong of a connection for me outside of this, or like outside of sobriety. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's sick, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. So, you know, we talked a little bit offline, man. Like we're, you know, both a bunch of gamers, you know, both love, you know, sports and the cultural significance, man. Like, you know, I want to talk about, for what you can talk about, you know, I'd love to talk about your gaming publishing company.
Yeah, dude. So we have some PRs that are coming out, but the whole thing is, you know, we have some really cool people on the team. I'm actually probably like the least impressive person on there. My co-founder and CEO, Toby, this guy found Clan Wars, and then was at IGN like Indie Incubator for like a year and a half or two, and then did Signal Zero, which is like a mobile game publisher, something like that. I made like millions of installs, etc. Then Nick Adams is one of our founders. He's one of the founders of ESL, and then we have Mark Harris, who is a Oscar-nominated Pixar artist, and then my other dear friend Clem, he does like our corporate development stuff. He was like a media chad, like social media chad that exited his company, did crypto for a while and some other stuff. So that's our team. But you know, we have our first game, Lamo, that we're coming out soon. So I'm really freaking excited about Lamo. So that is a game published or developed. Excuse me, it's published by us, developed by Super 77. It's Reiner and his team. Reiner's awesome. And the rest of his team are awesome too. And so what Lamo is it's interesting. It's like these kind of look like Funko Pop a little bit, and that same like almost like that. Not necessarily like they're like a chibi art style almost, but like a little bit blockier. And so I'll send you a picture later. But anyway, it's a battle royale game. Or it's a Metaverse really. It's gonna have different kinds of games. The Lamos are payable, but and the game is playable right now. We're just making it a little bit better. The story with the Lamo guys is crazy. So they've been in development for a while. 2 years ago, they were talking to Amazon, and then you know they initially like they made this like a PC game, and then they got someone else, I think, told them, like some leadership told them to do a mobile game. So they released 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago. It was 2 years ago, I think, and then they that was kind of like a early access, but it was a very small early access, like early access, and then got some guidance to go to mobile game. Then when they started doing mobile game development, they started talking to Amazon, and then, you know, March was when they were about to close the deal or whatever was supposed to happen, and then boom, COVID happened.
Right.
and that just like threw a ringer and everything. Like everyone's like, "What the heck?" Like we have to shut stuff down. So the conversation kind of dwindled away. And then Reiner met some people on our team. We got to talking, and the guys that we have on our team are awesome. They've built a lot of successful games, built strong communities. Nick's one of the founders of ESL, like Clan Wars, all this stuff, like making dope stuff at Pixar. So it's not, we're kind of, it's people like working with us, or like at least those guys. We get to know Rainer and his team, and we really like what we're seeing, and we felt like it was very lucky, kind of how the game's already so far along the development, and it just made so much sense, dude, with the NFTs, which is the crazy part. So Lambos are almost like what Meebits like was trying to kind of do to some degree. And these guys have been doing this longer than them, before them. So these Lambos are also vinyl figures that have a crazy AR experience, but now turn them into NFTs. And it's compatible anywhere that takes Unity, dude. So you can take your Lambo on day one and put it into Decentraland. I might get in trouble for saying that right now, but that is like, because I help out on a lot of the strategy stuff, and the guys get it. Like we're focused on building like a metaverse, like a building the metaverse, right? And like Web3, and focusing on foundations of like interoperability and stuff. So from day one, that was an easy choice for us to make, or to include a feature that we thought was very important. And the other stuff too, right, is the content's really good. The game's going to be fun. There's going to be other types of things that you can do. You eventually will be able to make your own Lamo. And one thing with that is like, I want it so you can, it's free to make your own Lamo. It's just when you mint it as an NFT, but then you also get the vinyl figure. And we have a lot of interesting partnerships. Like Ninja's involved in the game. He's an equity investor as well. So that's going to be really cool. We had a couple Twitter spaces, but people should come join our Discord to learn more about it, and follow the launch. We have that launch coming in the next few weeks. That's going to be really exciting. And I'm excited for people to see that. And then we have a game that our co-founder Toby, our CEO Toby's been working on for a while, called Carnival, that we're going to release, and I can't really talk much about it, but that's going to be cool. And then we have another unreleased project, or unannounced project, too, that we'll make the announcement for that soon in the subsequent release. But and then tons of things in the pipeline. It's really exciting to make dope IP centered around this stuff, and it's been exciting, man. It's been a lot of work. It's been grind, and we're really just gonna get started. Like, it's gonna be exciting to see where we're at. I'm moving back to where we're building our offices to be in person with the team, and it's just a lot of fun. Everyone on our team is awesome, and we're all aligned on this vision of just really the best way to explain it, I think. And I hate when people I don't hate anything, but I don't like the comparison when people try to make, we're like the blah 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 of this, but we really are trying to build a Valve, like Nintendo of Web3. And I don't think a lot of people are focused on that right now. And I think we have I know we have the team to do that, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's corny as some that may seem. Like, I think you have to have that in order to align yourself with what you're building. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have that, like that North Star, or that like kind of like that core value, or like what you're trying to be, or like what you want to do, like, then it's kind of hard to operate in that function. You know what I mean? But I mean, you have this like all-star team, or you have this all-star cast, man. Like how did y'all like all get together and agree upon this?
Dude, I don't even know, bro. Like, that shit is crazy. Like, shit is one hell of a starting five, bro. But yeah, it really just, it was Clement, man. Like, I met Clement in a Telegram chat 4 years ago. He's a successful businessman out of like Singapore and stuff, and he had invested in one of Toby's previous companies, and really, this is an effort of Toby, dude. Like, Toby's the man. So he's been, talking to a lot of the guys on our team for like years, and they're good friends. They've known each other for years, and they've been talking about for a while, like, we want to come together and make a company together. And so it's really just been this really awesome coincidence for someone like me, right? Who, I'm not that successful. Like, I've done well in crypto. Like, I've done, not to undermine myself, but it's just like, these guys are crazy, and it's to me, it's a lot of fun, because I'm very successful in the Web3 space, but that is it's small in comparison, because I'm learning a lot of things, right, on how to build stuff and all this stuff, which is awesome to work with people from different walks of life. and then there's different thought processes and problem solving, etc. But that's like it's this awesome coincidence of like, you know, getting a couple like Web3 natives that are really in the space, and then that I think, 'cause that's kind of one of our secret sauces. Then combine that with people that have like done amazing things in the gaming industry. Like I think that's the unique mixture that we bring to our team, is having that balance, and then that compatibility of like people listening to each other and collaborating with each other. And it's not like, oh, you know, I say this, people do this, or someone says this, someone says this. It's a lot. It's very collaborative. Like, I think this. Like, how are things done? Asking questions, and the culture is awesome that we're building. But it's just a great coincidence. Like, the stars just aligned, and boom, bam, we all just came together, and it's awesome. I'm very excited. I've been excited for like the last 7-8 months, and it's finally I can like start talking about it, and you know, we're becoming more open and public, and like sharing our story, and you know, we've even started recording dev calls and all this stuff, and just making the process super transparent, man. I love this community. I love this industry, and I can't wait to give back to it in the form of amazing IP for them to play.
That's fucking sick, man. I mean, and so like I'd argue that like that you have a more important role than you think. Like, I remember you saying earlier, like, you know, like, I'm small potatoes compared to these guys, but like you've literally lived on like the absolute bleeding edge of all of this shit, and like you're like the bridge of like, you know, of I guess established accomplishment, or like established, like, you know, IP building with a new twist on it to like, you're like the bridge, dude. You know what I mean?
We like the bridge, dude. We like the bridge, bro.
We like the fucking bridge, man.
Damn. I mean, it's sick, dude. It's like, to me, it's like, I don't know. I'm just a very like modest dude. I've done a lot of cool shit. Like, it's awesome, but I'm just having fun, dude. Like, it's just, I think it's one of those things where if you start taking yourself too seriously, especially like at my age, where I'm like 25, bro, I'm not trying to have like an air of superiority at this age. Like, it's such a douchey thing to do, and not at any age either, right? But I think when you just start taking yourself too seriously, it's hard to have fun, man. And like, that's the thing, is like, if you look at, like, there's been creators that have gone on crazy time periods where they were just hidden, bro. They were just pop, pop, pop. Like Pixar is a good example of this, right? Where they just did not miss for a bit. The Beatles, Bob Dylan, they was in their bag, bro. And I think a lot of that's just like, you know, they're having fun. They're like, because I try to learn a lot from history, and my issue with history is that it just says what happened, not what people thought was going to happen. Right. You know, and I wish there's a way to go back and look at what things are going to happen. And I like to, you know, be very reflexive and flexible as well with things of just like, what are we do? Like, how do we synergize these things? Because it's important to understand that, like, I've been on the bleeding edge of a lot of stuff in crypto, and all this stuff, but there's some things that are kind of universal, right? And it's you see this in DAOs right now, where people are relearning corporate governance, right? Like, if you know how to scale something like a company or a business or a technology, like, there's a lot of things that someone like me and some people like us in a mostly Web3 centric way can learn from that. And you know, it's like, obviously what I do is important, and like our Web3 strategy, all this stuff is important. But my teammates are super important too, dude. They're awesome, and it's like everyone's important. Everyone plays their role, and it's like that's. I can't say enough good things. It's just I'm having a lot of fun, and it's like we're making a lot of dope shit. And to me, I'm just so excited for people to see this, because I've given some friends teasers and stuff, and they're all like, people like it. But it's just like, I think we're in this space where NFTs are just like getting started, and like. There's not many people that really get it. Like, and the projects that, you know, we're really inspired by, me especially, are like the Cool Cats guys, Apes, Punks. Obviously, Punks, especially for community, I think is like insane to me. In terms of like just the quality of community members, not the number, but it's just like, wow, like dude, Snowfro, the founder of Artblocks, legend, by the way. Snowfro, you should have a movie, bro, straight up. But the guy was laying tile, bro.
Yeah, Deez was telling me a little bit about that. I didn't know that, dude. Yeah,
Snowfro's a freaking legend, bro. And he's in it for the art. Like, that's like, you know, he act like it's dude's a legend. But, you know, the guys like that, and then Cool Cats, Artifact, Pixel Vault. I think all those guys are making really cool stuff, especially Artifact and Pixel Vault. I think, especially Artifact, dude. I'm a huge fan of those guys. I think they're freaking awesome. I think everything they do is so cool. They get it. and they're just like they get video games, fashions, everything they do is so fire. But
Yeah.
you know, when you say like when you can break down the list like that, and Cool Cats, I don't know if you mentioned that, but
Oh yeah, you did.
and Parallel too. Parallel's crazy. Parallel's just so fire. But think about the ratio between like these brands, because I think of all these things as brands and companies and stuff and IP companies. I listed these out of how many thousands, tens of thousands
Yeah.
out there, right? And you know, some people may not like them. That's fine. You can like what you like. I like these things. That's the beauty of it all. And you can vote with your ETH on what you like, and be a part of engaged in that. So I really like what they've been doing, but it shows how little companies are going into this. Like, as far as I know, Artifact is like the only metaverse fashion company.
Yeah.
That's like native. It's like they're so sick, and you know, that's one thing that we have is like this notion of it's really us versus legacy, right? Like we love Web3 companies, and I think Farouk had a good tweet about this the other day. Like you're more like even like Ghosts and Cool Cats collab all the time. Like projects collab all the time, and you're like less likely to see that in like a Web2 world where like Nike and Puma collabing, right? You're like, that's not ever gonna happen.
No, it's not. And
but you know who gets hurt by that, bro, is the consumers, man. Like you can make them.
Yep.
Like, what's up, buddy? My dog is so freaking cute, dude.
What kind of dog do you have?
I have a mini golden doodle.
Oh, dude.
I know everyone says
awesome.
this about their dog, but my dog really is the cutest.
Well, but and your dog probably is the best boy, like in your house. Like, and the thing about it is that no one's wrong.
He's an asshole sometimes, though, dude. He's like a little terrorist.
Yeah.
He's only 4 months, so like he does this thing where like it's sometimes it's my fault for sure, but he'll just like, because I spend a lot of time in my office and then in my other room, that's my gaming room, and so I don't really like spend much time. Like my apartment's like way too big for just myself. And so I don't spend that much time in some of these other places, and I'll just be like, "Damn, bro, when did you pee here?" Like that, you're just like like sneakily peeing, like because he does. Well, sometimes he'll randomly pee like in this one area, which I know of, and it's like near my office or whatever. But because he's only 4 months, so it's fine. Like he'll have accidents, but like, bro, why are you going to like these very like I want to say like obscure places in the house?
That's because he's a dog, dude.
I know.
They follow their nose. I have a 75-pound, or it's actually 65-pound. She's a pharaoh hound, like an Egyptian pharaoh.
Oh, what the fuck?
And I got her at like a year and a half, man. She's hell in a handbasket in her own right. Like she's great with people, but she's like highly dog aggressive. So I have like my set of challenges with that. You know, it's man, like we like the dogs, dude. Like you probably seen my PFP. Like it's
dogs are awesome, dude.
Yeah. It's I don't know what I would do without her, man. That's cool. You got a pup. Pups are a lot of work, but they're so rewarding, man. It's so rewarding to do that.
Yeah, it's gone a lot better just in the last month or so. Like because when they're like super young and they're like just super like he's 4, so he's still a puppy. He's probably gonna be like this for a couple like a year, really, right? But like a year or more. But I need to do a better job. Like the thing is his demeanor and everything is so awesome. Like he's so chill.
Yeah,
but
Golden Doodles are the shit, man. I have a couple friends that have him.
Yeah, he's great. He just has one bad quality. It was like where he barks for attention, but that's fine. And then you know he's just super smart though. Like I'm like damn. So I tried to simulate him, and what I love about him is you know he's been an absolute blessing. Like every day waking up next to him is like such. I'm like damn, I love you, bro. You're so cute. Like you're so like awesome. But you know he gets me out the house, which is like important.
Yep.
Oh, what's up,
Same.
buddy? He just walked in here with my mail. Thanks.
Yeah, I like especially in the morning, man. Like I don't know. Like I would probably never leave my apartment if it wasn't for my dog. You know, very rarely. Same thing, man. Like I get exercise by exercising her. Like it's you know, and a lot of times, man. Like you know, my dog came into my life like right around a really tough part of my professional career, where it's just like I needed that like additional distraction. You know, like I needed to come home and clean up literal dog shit for like 2 months straight because she wasn't housebroken. You know, it's like it's funny, like it wasn't enjoyable at the time, but like looking back on it and reflecting now, it's just like, man, like universe doesn't miss. You know what I mean? Like the universe doesn't miss. Like when you need something, it always provides, and that is exactly what happened with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, dog is the best. Dude. I love that. I'm so glad that happened to you, bro. You're the man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. And now that it's almost weird. I'm in this transition of like now that like everything's getting good, I'm just like, wow, like now like it can be a more equal relationship, and now like I can like really work on her, and now I can really like enhance her life. You know what I mean? Versus like, versus like the opposite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Dude,
yeah, man.
I gave my dog. I got my dog like one of those like the little cookie treats, right? Like the baked treats, and he didn't eat the cookie, but ate the packaging, which I just thought was so funny.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
That's sick, man. That's sick. I wanted. There was one thing that, you know, as we start to wrap things up here, man. Like I want to, like when you were talking about, you know, the metaverse, you're talking about like some of the culture, you're talking like we're like basically on your last rant here. Something I've seen a lot on Twitter is like people like having different definitions of the metaverse. Like, what is your definition of that? And like, do you think that like there's more than one?
That's a good question. So I think, look, like you can use the term, however, right? You can describe an interoperable digital world as a metaverse. You can describe an overarching concept of interoperable digital worlds as a metaverse. You can go as far as just saying like you can describe it as like a universe or a meeting place where people have a distinct culture, distinct language. So you can even argue that like Twitter is a text-based metaverse. Right, because the distinction comes from like video games. Like video games weren't always visual based; like they were text based for a little bit, you know. And so, it's all a combination of things. For me personally, I think it's really like it's so cliche to say, but it is like a Ready Player One or like a Sword Art Online type thing, where like I think of it as like a world where like what I see is the hierarchy is something that resembles almost like a homeroom or like a lobby where people hang out. Like that's where our like. I think the succeeding social metaverse or digital world will be that operational layer where like it's like, oh, I'm just hanging out and whatever, right? Remember that like, something that looks like Decentraland, whatever, right? I'm hanging out in Decentraland, and then all my friends meet me at Decentraland. We decide to go play a video game, right? And all we do is just fucking on our end, whatever, click that shit, and right from Decentraland, maybe a portal opens up. We walk through the portal into another game, right? We start playing the game in there. Then we can, while we're in that other game, we decide to play another one. Boom, boom. So it's just like ubiquitous 3D worlds, and in these worlds, like you should be able to see like a lot of emergent, like a lot of divergent IP kind of in the same area. Like maybe I look to my left, I see something that looks like Disney. I look to my right, I see something that looks like Doom, right? And like and like if for like the social layer, like if it was inhabited like that. And then honestly, it's like crypto is the use, like is the plumbing of it all. Right, like I'm able to send you currency. You're able to sell me digital items in a game. Maybe you're able to sell me an NFT that serves. Maybe I just know you from a game, and you know you're actually like a ticket guy. Like you're plugged in with like tickets or whatever, and you go, yo, bro, I got you on Soup Dog tickets. Just send me this item in this game. Boom, boom. I know you're not scamming me. I'm gonna get an NFT. It's an NFT of a concert. Like NFTs have eaten everything at this point, right?
Yep.
Blah, blah. So like. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, it sounds a little fucking crazy, but I just think that, like, to reel it back a bit, it's just interoperable digital worlds. And you can, like, I think the nuance doesn't really matter that much. You can, because we call lame-o metaverse sometimes, but it's part of the metaverse.
Right.
So it's really like understanding what is the metaverse, where it's just going to be like this like conglomerate of just you don't know, because the thing is like it's on the back end, it's going to be like different things, but you're not like eventually it's not going to be you even like knowing. Similar to like how the internet is abstracted, right? Like we're on different servers on the internet, but do you know what server you're on? You know, like no.
Right. Right.
So it's all that coming on with, instead of servers, it's content. So it's like I'm this content, but now I'm over here. Blah blah blah. But also, I think one thing is people are going to feel things in these digital worlds. They're going to feel like they have significance. They're going to feel emotions. They're going to laugh. They're going to have fun. And that's like something to consider is the very human aspect of this all. Is that it's a new way for us to engage. Like crypto itself is just a new way for us to coordinate, right?
Yep.
And like play games with each other. Now it's like let's play real games with each other and see how this goes. And like it's going to be interesting, especially the social stuff, right? Like one of the names I still remember from my childhood is Zima. I literally cannot tell you my third or fourth or fifth grade teachers' names. or even I think second, yeah, like that. And not sixth either, even though she did not like me. But I can tell you, it was Zima, the guy who had like 99 everything on RuneScape.
Right.
Right, and it's like that's like culture and crypto and smart contracts all coming together are going to create. The world's going to get really weird, but weirder than it even is, and it's going to be really interesting. And I'm excited, and I'm hoping that we have a nice part in it.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely, man. And I'd say like one final question, and like because it's something that I've been struggling with as well. Like I enjoy gaming. I enjoy like I still have like my community there, you know. But my like just give you some context. Like when the Halo beta came out last weekend, I actually felt like I was missing out on so much opportunity by playing games with my friends versus like getting involved in crypto and Web3 and Twitter Spaces.
I mean, dude, that's okay. Like, really good point. That's something I struggle with too.
Yeah.
And it's you gotta just make time for yourself. Like, honestly, having my dog helps me with that. Because it like I get out the house and I'm like, okay, cool. Like at least 2 hours of the day I'm like walking you 1 hour and a half, whatever, because he doesn't want. He's a little baby. Right. You know that's nice. And the other thing is you got to make time for yourself, man. The market's always going to be here. The burnout is real. What I try to do is not work on Sundays. I don't do anything work related on Sundays. Especially, it's much easier when it's football season because I'm like, okay, it's Sunday. I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to hang out with friends. I'm just going to watch football. Right. It's really, I don't have the answers, man. It's something I struggle with too. It's like you got to really understand to live with that feeling of FOMO and not understand you're really not FOMOing. And I think that's something that you just kind of get from being in the market for a long time because you've been in it for a while now, right? Like if you've been in it for a few years, you're like, okay, like it's gonna. And the other thing is like committing to it, but I don't like telling people to not work hard though. Like if you want to keep go if. It should definitely be a red flag if the love, like that's when like to me when people started making comments like, dude, you're always working, you're never like, you don't ever hang out with this anymore, and I'm like, oh fuck, like, you know, if things are getting like that, like other people are like, you know, people love you, man, people love you, like everyone, like a lot of people are loved and people don't even realize how loved they are, and you know, it's important to go like, hey man, like it you know, you by not being there, like it actually like it does affect other people sometimes. And you know, be mindful of that. Don't lose your relationships for digital cats.
Yeah. I love that, dude. I think that's a fantastic point to end this on, man. I think we're gonna leave it at that, man. Like, Soby, where can people find you? Where do you want people to interact with you the most?
You can find me on Twitter at Soby Life, SOBY Life. And then, you know, the Ex Populus Twitter as well. And then I'm in that Discord all the time. So, yeah, man, I appreciate you having me, dude. This was a lot of fun, dude. You're the man. I'm excited that I got to learn more about you, and I'm glad that we've become friends.
Rock on, brother. I look forward to doing this again with you soon, man.
Hell yeah, dude. Definitely do it again soon.
All right, brother.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you.